Hey there, everybody. What is going on? So you are currently using WordPress, or you have a client that is currently using WordPress, and you're wondering, should you make the move to System.io? What are the compelling reasons to make the move from WordPress to System.io? And if you're wondering what those reasons are and how to explain that to a client, if your client's using WordPress, you've come to the right place. Let's dive in and look at this. All right. So number one thing, and probably the biggest reason that's going to feed into all the other reasons to make the move from WordPress to System.io is that WordPress is kind of a piecemealed together, if you will, in order to work properly for your business. And what I mean by that is WordPress uses plugins. All right. You can't get away from it. In order to use it properly and add the functionality that you need for each component of your business, you're going to need, for the most part, plugins. All right. With System.io, you don't use plugins. It's an all-in-one platform. Everything that you need to run your business is already there. There's none of this piecemeal stuff. So let's dive into this piecemeal stuff a little bit more. All right. With these plugins that you need, you might need, say, a contact form. That's a contact plugin. You might need you might want to add a course to your website. That's another plugin. You might want a community for your website. That's another plugin. Again, all this stuff adds complexity to WordPress, where with System.io, it's already built in. All right. Now, the thing with these plugins, all right, I'm smiling because you need these plugins to run a WordPress site properly. But the thing is, if it's done right, these plugins should be managed by the developers for each plugin. And again, there's a separate developer typically for each one of these plugins. And if they're being managed properly, they're being updated on a regular basis. And this is an issue. And here's why. Oftentimes, and I know this from personal experience, when you update a plugin, it breaks other things on your WordPress. All of a sudden, things that were running properly on your WordPress site before are now not functioning properly just because you did a required update. And again, you should be doing the updates, but these updates that you should be doing cause things to break. Things like all of a sudden your images just disappear. Boom. You do an update and your images disappear. I've had this happen. All right. And so what that means is you've got more work having to make sure these plugins are updated, number one. Number two, because they potentially are going to break things on your site, you have to do updates on your website. All right. That takes time. With System.io, they handle all the updating of the platform. They handle all of the backups on the back end. You can't even do that yourself. Okay. So again, more work with those plugins, making sure they're updated, making sure that your WordPress site is backed up. Tons of work. I'm telling you, that alone is reason to make the move. Now, let's look at support issues. Well, here's the issue with WordPress. You don't have one place to go for support. Each one of those plugin developers is going to have their own separate support. And now you have, depending on how many plugins you have, all of these different places you have to go for support. It could be 10 different plugins, 10 different places to go for support. It could be 20 different plugins, 20 different places to go for support. Where with System.io, you have one place to go for support. Not only that, their support is really, really responsive. They're going to get back to you within 24 hours. Oftentimes, it's like hours that it takes for them to get back to you. I mean, within a couple of hours, they're getting back to you, if not even sooner. The support with System.io is top notch, and it's only one place. All right. The other thing that you're going to need to kind of keep in mind with all of this is because of the complexity with WordPress, there is a learning curve. All right. It takes a lot to learn how to set up WordPress, to keep it running, obviously, to deal with all the issues that can potentially come up with it, and just how to manage all these plugins and get them to all work together properly. With System.io, yes, there's a learning curve with it, but it's a lot less steep than it is with WordPress. All right. The other thing that Dana is a huge just concern for him, and that is security. All right. WordPress is built on PHP, and PHP has a lot of security flaws. If you go into Google News, here, we'll pull over Google News right now. Let me pull this up and show you. And you just do a search for WordPress hack. Just as latest as March 31st, hackers exploit WordPress. May 7th, second AutoKit vulnerability exploited to hack WordPress sites. Hackers are January 29th of this year, hackers are hijacking WordPress sites to push Windows and Mac malware. All right. You've just got so many security vulnerabilities with WordPress that it's just like you're just a target for hackers. With System.io, it's much more secure, and you're not going to have as big of issue with security vulnerabilities that you have with WordPress. The other thing that you've got between the two, when you are adding all those plugins that you need to run your business properly on WordPress, you're creating bloat. You're making your WordPress site a lot bigger and a lot slower. So you're going to need top-notch hosting, and just to make sure that that thing is running smoothly and quickly. System.io, on the other hand, is built on high-performance servers. It's built for speed and performance already. That's how it's designed. So you're not going to have the issues with bloat that you typically are going to see with WordPress. All right. The other thing with WordPress is the cost. If you are going to use WordPress, you're going to have hosting. That's an extra cost. System.io, the hosting's built in. All right. With those plugins, some of those plugins, in order to get proper support, you have to pay for them. So that's another cost. All right. Your email marketing, again, that's built into System.io. That's not built into WordPress. So you're going to need an email marketing platform. All right. That's going to cost. All this stuff kind of starts adding up. And so with System.io, you can get the completely free version, which is already super robust, and you can run a business website on their free version without plugins, without complications, and you're good to go. But if you want more bells and whistles, you can upgrade with System.io, and you can get tiered plans for more functionality. But it's a cost that's just in one place, all right? And it's not all these add-on costs. Just managing that alone, just all the different costs, all of the different components and the invoices for all those, it's gonna make your mind just boggled, right? System.io is just a lot more simple as far as pricing and just the cost itself, all right? So those are some things to kind of keep in mind here, all right? I'm telling you right now, if you want to just have something that's going to work for your business and not have to be a huge heartache, System.io is the way to go. It's going to cut down all of your time and energy that you're taking just trying to keep your website functioning properly. If you're using WordPress, it's just WordPress is a time suck. It takes so much time to manage and keep running properly and smoothly, where System.io, it just works. So there you go, folks. Those are some reasons that you want to consider as far as trying to make that decision of, should I go from WordPress to System.io, or should my client go from WordPress to System.io? So that's it for now, everybody. If you're really enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel. That really helps Dana and I out. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone.